Hey, what's going on, guys? Hopefully, the audio sounds much better than before because I have invested a little bit into my channel. No, I'm not talking about 50 bucks a day. I am talking about I bought a microphone. Yes, I finally shelled out a little bit of dough and bought a microphone. But that's not why we're here. We are here to talk about how much JEPI do you need in an account in order to get one free share of JEPI every month by getting paid out a dividend. So here it is, right off the rip. Yes, nobody knows, but we can speculate and we have good data to go back on. So we're going to dive into that right now. I'm going to pull up Seeking Alpha and we'll take a look at JEPI's past dividend history. All right, guys. So here on Seeking Alpha, we are talking about JEPI, JP Morgan's Equity Premium Income ETF. All right, this has a lot of talk on it. I have it in my portfolio myself. And this ETF is great because it pays you a monthly dividend and it pays large. All right, so we're just going to scroll down here. You can see it's $55.70 per share. But as we come down here, here's the year-to-date chart. It's doing pretty well, but we're going to focus on this right-hand side over here. So this dividend pays out monthly. So every single month, they're going to pay you based on how much JEPI you own, and they're gonna give you cash, right? Now, there's two options with that cash. I shouldn't say cash; they put it in your account, but it's as good as cash. You have two options. You're either gonna be able to take that money out and spend it, or you can use that to rebuy more JEPI. That's what I do. Okay. That's what dividend growth investors do until you get to the point where you retire and then you just take that cash and then you live off of it, which is great. So, dividend rate, TTM. Okay. This is your 12-month average from the year before, right? So, TTM stands for trailing 12-month average. So, this data is based off of all the dividends it paid last year. This is what you got. Okay. So, all of last year, if you take all those payments out, you add them up together, it paid $6.36 per share of JEPI, which means that the yield, right? So, what it paid out in the past trailing 12 months was 11.42%. So, huge returns. All right. Just absolutely positively massive. Really good returns, which has made this such an appealing investment to people. If I have $1 million in the bank and I want to retire, if you put it into JEPI, that will pay you monthly. And according to this, that's an 11% return. So what's 11.42% of a million? That's 110,000, 114,200 a year. So very, very appealing. Obviously, this is not wealth management, credit counseling, financial advice, none of that. I'm just a guy sitting in an office that still needs to be cleaned, rambling on about stocks. But here is the interesting thing. Here's JEPI. All right. So going over the chart here, we can see the price of the stock. We can see how many shares we have in our $50 per day dividend investing portfolio. As we come over here, we'll see that the yield for the dividend is no longer listed in the 11s. It is now 12.34. There's one very big difference with this. What we looked at before was the trailing 12-month dividend payout. This is the forward dividend yield. Okay, so this is what JEPI is expected to pay out going forward. Now, how do we use this information to calculate how many shares of JEPI we need to own in order to get one free share of JEPI every month? Well, for that, we're going to dive into Microsoft Paint, as always, where I have it mapped out. All right. So we know that one share of JEPI is $55.70. We also know that the dividend yield of JEPI is 12% or 12.34%. So first, if we want a free share of JEPI, that means that we need $55.70 once a month. So in order to figure that out, we have to do 55.70 a month times 12 months. All right. So in order for us to get a single share of JEPI for every month, we need $668.4 a year in dividend payouts. All right. So, how do we calculate that exact number? How do we earn $668.40 a year in JEPI, right? Well, you take the $668.40 and then you multiply that by the dividend yield. So 12.34%. The easy way to calculate that is you do 668.4 divided by 0.1234. And that will show you that you need $5,416.53. And then you will get to enjoy a free share of JEPI every month. Now, JEPI doesn't pay the exact amount every single month. So, yes, that's not set in stone. Again, JEPI could cut their dividend way down. I don't know. But as for right now, it's pretty good. A lot of people say, why wouldn't you just put all of your money into JEPI? And again, I don't run this fund. I am not a wealth manager credit counselor. I just don't like putting all my stuff into one thing. Now, I have JEPI because JEPI is great. Now, I also think lots of other ETFs, individual companies are also great. All right. So, because of that, I have a good blended portfolio, at least in my opinion. Other people might say that it's terrible. With that, though, because JEPI is in my portfolio and my other focuses or my other holdings are also focused on dividends, I found out by doing some math that I earn a 6.92% forward dividend yield on average. So, whereas some people's goal is to get a free share of JEPI every month, my goal and what I'm excited for, at least for a good short term goal, is how do I get to $100 a month of income out of my portfolio? And when does it look like that should happen? Right. So the one part I don't really know because that's going to be based off of the market growth. But I can tell you what it looks like, at least at this point, the number would be. So straight back into Microsoft Paint, we're going to run the same calculation. If I want to make $100 per month, first thing I got to do is say $1,200 a year, because $100 a month times 12, with an average yield or dividend yield of 6.92%. So same like we did before, all I need is 1,200 divided by 0.0692, my dividend yield, means that I'll have that income once I get to $17,341 in the account. So that's pretty exciting to me. That's a good number to look forward to. And that's assuming that everything stays the same. Problem with the stock market is that it will never stay the same. it's going to be up and down, and this is all very speculatory, but it's based off of predicted forward yields and traditional like past dividend growth on what I hold in my portfolio. So you guys can see that you don't need a ton of money. I mean, obviously 17 grand's a good amount of money, don't get me wrong, but you don't need a ton to have a balanced portfolio where you're still seeing $100 a month. You're seeing that income. $100 a month for a lot of people, like that's a phone bill. That makes life a little easier. Or, on our channel, that's 2 free days of investing. So when I don't let up on the investing, we keep going $50 a day. It's almost like we stole 2 extra days, right? So that's pretty exciting to me. It just expedites the process, and you can see how this thing grows pretty quick. So pretty cool. Hopefully this video will help you guys figure out how to set goals, long-term investing, to see how much you need to yield what you want. Some people can retire with $1,000 a month. Some people need $20,000 a month, and there's people way beyond that, and they're in their own category. But yeah, it's a good way to be able to model sort of what your expectations are for the future. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you want more content. And as for now, roll the outro.